Good evening. Welcome to the latest edition of Last Bell Boxing. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome back British featherweight champion Leigh Wood.
Evening, guys. All good, mate. All good.
Got the usual guys with us. Carl and Ray sat there. So the last time we had you on, Lee, you were still buzzing from your title win. What's happening? What's happening for you right at this minute?
So we're just getting to the stage now where we've got a few things lined up. Boxing's booming at the minute. It's a good business to be in. So yeah, I've got some dates being talked about, looking around July time. It's going to be exciting.
You got some names?
I ain't got no names. I can't share anything with you guys, unfortunately. But I'm aiming to be out in July or early August latest. And I'm going to be in exciting fights.
Rumour has it you're thinking about moving on from the British title, because I remember last time we talked about you were considering whether you were going to try and win it outright.
Yeah, well, I've got two options still. Even to this day right now, I've still got options. I can either pursue something bigger, which will be significantly bigger, or if it's fast enough, 3 fights on the spin in a very, very short space of time and win it outright. So I've let my manager know, I'm willing to fight anyone in Britain, which is on the British scene, obviously, anyone on the British scene to win that outright. That's one option. And my other option is to be in another big fight, a very big fight, an exciting fight. So we'll see what happens. I mean, either, motivation-wise, I'm willing to do either of them routes. So everyone says I'm getting old, I need to crack on and move on, but I'm 32 and I'm a young 32. I'm not 40. I'm not over the hill. I've got a lot of years left. I want to fight as long as I can fight. I'll probably fight till I'm 36 or 37. So I enjoy fighting. I love it. I live the life. I'm very much a boxing lifestyle kind of guy. So
yeah, you're never out of shape, are you? You don't blow up.
Never. I'm always doing things. I'm always trading when I'm not fighting. I even played football the other day, believe it or not, a charity game along some ex-Forest players, Andy Reid, to name a few. A few of the Forest ladies was on the game as well. The charity game was really good fun, to be honest.
Nice.
Lee, any chance of any of them fights that you can't give us details on? Fair enough. Any chance of any of them being in Nottingham?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility depending on which route we take. Yeah. The crowd's back. I think at the aiming to be back fully in July time. So it's definitely a possibility. I'd love to go back to Nottingham, and
we'd love to have you back.
Eventually the City Ground. So we'll see.
That'll be save that for the world title fight, mate.
Yeah, you'll easily pack that place out, Lee.
It'd be incredible, and walking out to Kintyre, it'd be a dream. But one step at a time and all that.
Yeah.
So, Lee, a question I've always wanted to ask a boxer is: you've got dates in mind. So how does that translate in terms of your training? Do you step it up a level now, or do you just kind of take over?
So,
for example, are you sparring now and stuff like that?
I'm going to do a bit of sparring this week, yeah. So basically, takeover is, for me, I do a lot of body sparring. I'll be doing my pads, my weights, my runs. Nothing too strenuous. Nothing too where you think, oh, God, I've got to do this today. It's enjoying training, but keeping fit. Yeah. You eat a little bit of crap at weekends, but you eat good in the week. And then when you know roughly when you're fighting, when you get the month, right, then you know you've got about 10 to 12 weeks away. Then you start stepping it up. And then based on the next 3 or 4 weeks after that, you'll get a date, and then you can have a go for it. Or the date might be a bit later, and you carry on that level before you step up again, depending on... It's all about timing and peaking. So I like to have a good 10 weeks, and that gets more intense as it closer you get, to be honest. And then obviously with the dieting, it gets harder. The sparring gets more intense and more regular. So, yeah.
Are you back down in London now?
Yeah, I'm in Essex, yeah. I've cranked it up a little bit.
What's the mood like in the camp? Because obviously Josh Taylor's just come off a tremendous win, historic win. So
unbelievable win, but the mood in the gym is a bit flat because everyone's away still.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously
back on the back. So Lee McGregor is back on Monday. Josh is back the following week or the end of the same week. Ben came back today. I've been taking over with Shabazz Masood, Leo Delanger, Mark Dickinson, Will Carlis. They've got some good kids in the gym. We've been taking over. But yeah, everyone's back next week and I'm looking forward to it.
I bet Ben Davison's flying at the minute. I bet he's absolutely flying, isn't he?
If he doesn't win, if he don't win Trainer of the Year, there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
Wow.
He's getting in the mix into a lot of big fights, isn't he?
I mean, with me, with myself, with Lee McGregor and Josh, like, he's had some good wins already, all within a space of a few months.
All of the second cornerman is sitting in on as well. He's all
in the Haney fight, yeah,
and the Billy Joe fight. He was sat in the corner for the Billy Joe fight as well, wasn't
he? Yeah.
But then this benefits you, then, Lee, doesn't it?
That's it. I mean, well, it can benefit me, but then if it starts attracting too much attention and get some bigger names, we might lose a bit of time. So hopefully, hopefully not.
That was going to be one of my questions, Lee. Ben must have been away, what, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, so we knew when he was going to go away. We knew when Josh was fighting. So when I got dates thrown at me, I said, I'm not going to be ready till July because obviously Ben's away. So I started cranking my train up in the May. This June is when it gets a bit, obviously Ben's back, it gets a bit more serious, and hopefully be aiming to fight in July, mid-July. So that time is perfect.
Have you mainly been working back in Nottingham then, or have you been still going down?
I've been up and down. Barry Smith's been looking after us down here. So obviously we need to stay on it. There's no messing about in boxing. But Barry's been looking after us down here at the MTK Performance Centre. And when I'm in Nottingham, I do train as well.
Right.
Lee, I noticed this a boxer called Louis Lynn been quite vocal about you lately, making noises that he wants to get you in the ring. What are your thoughts on him? He's been very vocal, hasn't he? But surely you're looking upwards, surely.
And like I said, if I decide to win that British title outright, maybe he's an option, but I don't think he does want the fight. I think he just wants to tell everyone he wants the fight. We've had no correspondence whatsoever. We've not had an offer. We've not even had a phone call off anyone from Queensbury or Frank Warren at all. So
he's just trying to make himself a bit of a name off your back, mate.
I think he is. There's another one from Liverpool that says, before my fight for the British, he said he wanted to fight Reece Mould. He think Reece Mould was going to win, blah, blah, blah. And same again. Now he's saying he wants to fight, and we've not heard nothing. No offers. It's like nowadays they want the champion to go and chase everyone else, asking for like, when I was in that position, begging for a fight, I'd have fought anyone. And we put a lot of offers in for people. Now I've got the title. We've not had none. It's kind of a bit disappointing. If I want to win this British title outright and fast, it's going to be hard to get opponents, I think.
You're saying if you do, it's another 2 fights in quick succession.
Another three.
Another 3 fights in quick succession. Sorry. When you say that, how far apart are you talking? Does that all depend on how you come out of the fights? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it all depends on the wins, but I'd expect to be doing them pretty quick, to be honest.
Well, Lewis Ritson did it quite quick, lightweight, didn't he?
That's it. That's
really
the kind of job, right?
Yeah.
I think Ryan Rhodes has got the record for fastest winning it outright. But yeah, I'd be aiming to do it pretty quick. I think at that level now, I've got enough experience to get me through pretty quick. There'll be some good kids in there. There'll be some hard fights. You don't get easy fights for British title, obviously, but I think with my experience and ability and the level I'm at, it shouldn't be too difficult.
And I don't think I think you're being fair and honest when you say I think your power will be too much with some of these kids.
Yeah, and a lot of them haven't been in the fights I've been in. Like I said before about Reece Mould, I genuinely believe Reece was the best after me, if that makes sense. So below me, like all my defences, I think Reece would have been the best out of the lot. So I'm not going to underestimate anyone, but I can't see anyone posing much more of a problem than he did.
It's a bit of a dilemma for you, isn't it? Because I don't know what you think, but for me, the Lonsdale belt's the best belt out of the lot.
It's beautiful, and I'd love to have it in my family to pass down to my kids and my grandkids. It's something very special, and I'll do everything I can to do that. So we'll see.
Yeah, and the heritage of the belt as well. The names that have held that belt over the years,
and your weight class as well, Yeah,
like the Booth brothers, I think they won outright. Carl Frotcher won outright. Kel Brook won outright, and I've seen them all do it. So I just like to add my name to them, and go and do it. So
You're in good company there, aren't you, Lee? You're in very good company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about stepping up, you're obviously talking about world title fights, aren't you?
Possibly.
He's a good politician, isn't he?
I'm pushing your answer. Sorry, mate.
Obviously, it's a big jump for a world title, so there'll probably be something in between. But that would be the option, pursuing that. And
Well, there's
pursuing
obviously
it fast.
There's obviously the WBA interim champion, isn't there? Ramirez. Is that would that possibly be an option?
He's putting his poker face on at the minute, look. This is his poker face. Dan Dust till dawn and all that lot.
I'm not sure where I am with the WBA, but I know I'm ranked fairly high in other governing bodies. But it's all about opportunities. My next fight would be determine which route we took, because that'll be the reason for that fight, the ranking and a step up in class to prepare me for that shot. It's a big jump from British to world, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we've seen, and no doubt you would have seen as well, during the lockdown, the fight camp. We've seen a lot of fighters struggle with that transition, not even just from British to world, but also European. Some fighters have been found out European, so I guess as well as making that jump, it's doing it in a calculated manner. So
yeah, it is. Yeah, you got to have the potential as well. So, and you got to be the timing needs to be right. You could fight someone for an area title that person you fought for an area title goes on to win a world title. So it's all about timing and a bit of luck as well. Like you could meet the wrong person at the wrong level that was not that level, that was on their way to a bigger level. So, but yeah, I do think realistically, I need an in between fight, minimum at least one. And I'd love to prove myself. Even one of the best world champions we've got at my weight class, which is probably Navarrete. I'd love to go on and prove my ability, prove how good I am against someone like that. Even if I didn't come off away with a win, like I'd show you what I've got, and I haven't showed what I've really got yet. So
yeah, sometimes your stock rises from a good performance, doesn't it, Lee? Sometimes it happens. Can I just ask any involvement in any Eddie Hearn's fight camps, possibly?
It's being talked about. There's a lot of options at the minute. Eddie's got an announcement. I think it's tomorrow or the day after. I know it's this week. With the channel and what's happening and all the shows that are going to be happening. At the minute, like I said at the start of the interview, boxing's booming. There's going to be shows, I'm sure, nearly every week with across all the different platforms. So it's a good time to be a fighter. It's a good time to have a title, especially a British title, and it's a good time to be looking forward to all these opportunities that are becoming my way.
Yeah,
you've got a really good team around you now, aren't you? With having Dave Caldwell as your manager. And now Ben Davidson's obviously your head coach. Do you feel like everything's come into place now?
Yeah, absolutely. Before I signed with Dave, not a lot was happening. I was waiting for British title. I was waiting for this title, that title. Promise this, promise that. Not just for 3 months. It was for years. And I kind of signed with Dave and everything changed. And I've had 5 title fights, won 4, and all in a short space of time. So I feel like everything's lined up all right. And not just lined up all right, it's because it's deserved. I grafted my arse off since I was like 12 years old. So I feel like now I'm getting out of it what I put into it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've already touched on it, haven't you? Things come together at the right time for fighters, and the right fighters come along. Dave's definitely the right person to have him for that Inter. He's got a wealth of experience. He knows the game inside out, and I'm sure. I'm sure he's put tweets out there, hasn't he? But I'm sure he's looking at the right candidate at the right time for you.
That's it, because boxing's about timing as well. You can have all the ability in the world. If you look at fighters that have won more titles that have not had as much ability as other fighters that have not won more titles. But yeah, you need to be managed right as well. Yeah, you can't be an idiot, and you can't have idiots looking after you.
True. Yeah. Boxing's too short for that.
I mean, exposure's got a lot to do with it as well, Lee, hasn't it? The PR side of the game, and I'd argue with Ben Davison and Dave Caldwell especially, you should start getting some traction now around your name and your exposure, I'd imagine. You've got a good platform behind you. So that may help in terms of, let's not talk names, but these two avenues you've got to go down. I'd argue Mr. Caldwell will pull out the stops for you and get you the right opponent.
Yeah, that's it. We're in a day and age where profile does matter. Look at who Mayweather's fighting. You know, it's just like, it's crazy. It's all about your profile, and it's something I need to do more of, my social media, and boost myself up. And I've got a few things lined up over the next few weeks. I've got some new sponsors coming on board, which is exciting. They're going to be helping me boost my profile, and I'm working with them as well. So I'm working on my areas that need work. And it's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for this year, this summer, and towards the end of the year as well. We've got some really good things and big things to look forward to.
Goes without saying, to talk about Liverpool being a big boxing town and Manchester being a big town, Nottingham's a big boxing town as well. So, you know, you've got a massive market there, haven't you? You know, the right fight fills a city ground, although I'd probably have it in Meadow Lane, but that's another story. But yeah, you know, you've got a lot of market there to expose. Look at the nights with Carl Froch. You know, Nottingham was bouncing, wasn't it? And that
was there in the stands.
Yeah, that must really excite you to know what the potential is for the right fights in Nottingham.
Yeah, I've done it with. I've been there with Carl. Watched Carl do it from the Phoenix days to winning the world medal to turning pro with Hennessy, to the first night at the ice arena when they curtained off half the arena because they couldn't sell it, and then building it up until he boxed and won the world title. I mean, I've been there, I've seen it, and it's something that I want to do myself, and I want to do one better. Not even one better, but I just want to do something that's give me my own identity. People looking back and say, "Oh, Froch did this, Froch did that." 90,000, whatever it was, 80,000.
80,000, get it right.
80,000. I can forget that. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to be the first person to headline the City Ground and give them my own identity, my own stamp of history in Nottingham. The people of Nottingham are great. You know, they get behind the athletes, get behind the sports. So I'm really lucky and fortunate to be from Nottingham.
Does Carl give you any pointers, Mr. Froch?
Yeah, I do talk to Carl now and again. It gives me good advice. Yeah.
He's always been a backer of you, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's always got behind me. I mean, we've got a lot of similarities, Carl. Like, went to the same school, same area we grew up in, same amateur club. Our date of birth, so like similar digits, and it's like got the same middle name. There's loads of similarities. I read his book, and it was quite scary. There was loads of little things that I did in my life. For example, I think he went to the Gedling school, and he was in the area for Willers, and then his mum said, "No, you're going Gedling." And all his friends went Willers. I remember he said in his book he was like crying about it. The same thing happened with me. I went primary, junior school. My friends all went Willers. I was in the area. My mum said, "No, I went Gedling. You're going Gedling." It's been knocked down now. It's a terrible school, but yeah, it's so many similarities with Carl. It's quite frightening.
Yeah, it'd be nice for you to get that City Ground gig, though, wouldn't it, Lee? You know, something that Mr.
Amazing.
Might achieve.
It'd be amazing.
You know,
it's the dream. It's definitely the dream, and I'm confident it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's
definitely a legacy fight, isn't it? Because it's never been done before.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it would have to be for a final eliminator for a world title or for a world title itself.
I can't help but draw parallels when they talk about Josh Warrington with the Leeds crowd, because you could replicate that in Nottingham quite easily. In fact, I'll go on record, we're better fans in Nottingham than Newcastle and Leeds. So, Lee,
I'm not too sure.
We need you to get that world title shot, and let's get it on at the City Ground. It'll be great.
I'm on it, mate. I'm on it.
Yeah, it'll be great. Right, Andy, anything else?
No, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, mate. I really appreciate it. You know, we're a very small channel, growing slowly, and it's just great to have you back here, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
As soon as I get some news, I'll drop you a message, and we'll come back on. Hopefully, it won't be too soon. Within the coming weeks.
Teasers, Lee, aren't you? You're a terrible tease, you are, fella.
I think he's already signed something. He just can't tell us yet.
But we'll let him carry on. But yeah, Lee, if you would come back on when it's all signed,
I'd love to come back on.
Just to let you know, Lee, you perhaps don't know this, but we do we do a live show every Thursday night, 9 o'clock, without fail, every single Thursday. So you're more than welcome at any point, mate, to just jump in.
All right, I'll bear that in mind, and as soon as I get some news, concrete news, and then I'll come share it with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pal.
Excellent. No, I would really appreciate that. Yeah.
Lee, I'll stay in touch, fella. Thank you for your time again. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. Nice talking to you all.
Thank you, mate.
All right. Enjoy your evening, pal.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.